Hey, Michelle, what's going on? What's shaking?
Everything's good over here. I am looking out my window and I'm seeing bright sun, and I am also
Awesome.
seeing, a lot of tarp, and I can tell that the wind is blowing. I've been so excited because we've had so many warmer days, not really warm days, but then
Yeah.
I get outside and it's just like wind, and you're like, come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, that's not fun when it's warm, but it's windy. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, not that warm, still like, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
It takes it away. Yeah, we have some pretty strong wind out here in Colorado sometimes too, actually.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. It's
yeah,
crazy. Here the thing is I make rookie mistakes all the time. The thing about Colorado weather is that it changes so fast. It could be
yeah.
sunny and literally, I'm not joking. It could be sunny and 60 and you could say, "Oh, let's go for a walk. I heard maybe it'll snow later, but I'm sure it'll be nice for the next hour." You get out and in the middle of your walk, all of a sudden the temperature is 30 degrees or
No,
20 degrees. It's windy and the clouds are coming in. Being at this kind of,
really.
yeah, it's the high altitude means the weather changes. So you can get stuck without gloves. That happened to me a few months ago. I had to run home with my dog. I was so cold
Oh,
and it was
oh my
sunny going
God.
out. It was so crazy.
That is crazy. That is definitely crazy. No, it's certainly not like that here. I feel like it's day to day. It can
Yeah,
change
day
so
to day.
drastically, but
Right.
not
No, here
within the
in
same.
an hour, half an hour, it's
Geez.
it's nuts. It's
So
nuts.
that
Yeah.
hourly forecast is really important.
That's right.
You got to trust Al Roker then.
Al Roker, guys, if you're following the podcast, which by the way, you should hit follow wherever you listen,
Mhm.
you'll know that we did an episode. It was 1758, where we talked about how to compare yourself or someone else to a pop culture icon or star. Really good episode.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, today we are going to talk about examples, or kind of like putting an image in someone's mind. So a lot of times, we say things like, "Oh, for example," right?
Yeah, yes. Right, which can be kind of, well, it's textbook, isn't it, Michelle? It's
Yes,
textbook. So we want to go beyond the textbooks, don't we? Our listeners are ready for that.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. We often say, "For example," but sometimes I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't sound right with what we're talking about, or it's too formal, or it's not right somehow. So like I'm thinking of like a lengthy example, like where you're
Okay.
almost like going into a whole picture of something.
Okay.
Like, so not if I say like, oh, for example, cheese, like
Cheese.
that you can say like, for example, or like, or
Yeah.
something like that. But
Okay.
this is more for like bigger things. You'll see what I mean in a minute.
Okay. So this is more, you're saying that, for example, could get repetitive when you want to build the context for a story almost. A big, long
Mm-hmm.
example, a little anecdote that you want to tell. I love it. We're going to get into this today, how to not talk like a textbook in these moments. But I think actually on the IELTS exam, this would be really useful, right?
Oh,
Because
that's right.
don't you think? Because on IELTS, guys, speaking parts 1, 2, and 3, they're totally different. But in speaking part 2, you need to tell a story. And I could see
Mm-hmm.
these vocabs today being very useful in that context.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. And we've definitely talked about storytelling on the show
Mm-hmm.
before. So definitely, take a look at the blog, put maybe storytelling into the
Yes.
blog, take a search around. But so guys, we're trying to give you some special vocabulary for you today to do this as well.
Yeah. So, guys, go over if you want to learn more about IELTS from our team with 14
Yes.
years of examiner experience. That's hard to beat anywhere. Go over and follow the IELTS Energy podcast. We have a second podcast at All Ears English, and you
That's
cannot
right.
miss that if you're planning to take the IELTS exam. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, if we want to talk about a longer example, perhaps a story, there are useful ways to do it, because this is good for school, for the business world, for regular conversations as well. And it's a good one to kind of like get someone like, oh, you're about to like jump into this vision, right?
Ooh, I like the imagery there to jump into a
Jump into
vision.
the vision.
There is something to that, Michelle. We need to get people prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just tell a story or give a good example. And so in passing, if someone's hardly
Yeah.
listening to you, or if you're talking at someone, which I'm guilty of doing that sometimes, my closest friends and people in my life, I'll talk at them.
Oh.
Bad. But
Oh.
you need to set people up and actually make them want to hear it. Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
So how can you do it? So one of the reason I wanted to do this episode today was because I used this first example. And it just made it was like, oh, that's a good way to do it. So not to toot my own horn, but okay. So the first one is imagine.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. Here's a sample sentence. So imagine you're trying to get your work done. Your phone won't stop ringing. Your baby won't stop crying. We have the solution. Okay. So I was going to say, this sounds very good for pitching to venture capitalists, right? If you're trying to get money for your startup business idea, right? And I think some of our listeners do have business ideas.
Yeah.
Infomercials, selling something. This is fantastic. All right.
Yeah. So you might hear this on an infomercial. Lindsay, what is an infomercial?
An infomercial is what you see on TV, the longer commercials, but I guess they just give you more information. You see this more on
demonstrate
like QVC, right? Do you ever watch Shark Tank? Do you ever watch that?
I love Shark Tank.
Okay. So Lori is the one that has the connections from Shark Tank, right? So everyone knows the same thing. And everyone wants to be on QVC. And so if you turn that channel on, I mean, that's what you're going to get is infomercials, but then you get them on normal networks too, just longer nighttime stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Nighttime. It's always like at 3 a.m. Like sometimes, what happens is like, if you fall asleep with the TV on once, sometime and you get up to go to the bathroom and there's an infomercial on and you're like, what happened?
Yeah. It could be like some humidifier or a kettle. Just random products that you wouldn't know about otherwise, but some of them are useful, right? Sometimes, who knows?
They're very cheesy though.
Cheesy, and the music is cheesy, the voices are cheesy, the images are always really cheesy. I agree,
but wait, there's more.
There's more.
Right. So but that one is useful also, just for giving another example or painting another picture, which is actually okay. The next one is let's say.
Yes, this is great. So again, this is how you're unraveling the scene. You're opening the scene for the person. Let's imagine, let's say you have 2 apples, you lose one, then you find another. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Michelle, we're so in sync here. Math problems. I could imagine this to like a parent explaining algebra to their kids.
Yeah.
Honestly, I dread the day.
Yes, that is a scary thought, like to have to teach a kid a subject that you're not good at.
Geometry. I remember my dad helped me for hours every night after dinner with my geometry. Oh my gosh. I was awful at it. I was like, I don't get it. I don't know if he felt like he was good at it, but he was the one that would help me and sit down. I feel like there's always a dedicated parent. Which one of you guys is it going to be for your kids?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but it's so funny because I'm so terrible at, actually, I think I did an Instagram about this. Somehow I'm always fashioning things out of like my son wanted a backpack and I didn't want him like carrying his school backpack all around because it's gross, it's been in the, it's just, I don't know, the germs and everything. So I made him a backpack out of pipe cleaners and a paper bag. And it's so funny because I'm not the artsy one. And like the other day he wanted a different train that he doesn't have. So I made it out of a toilet paper roll. And I've become like kind of crafty in that weird way, but Dan is much more artistic and good at making things. And so he was joking, like, you're quickly becoming the one who's going to be doing the school project. So I'm like, no.
You're going to, before you know it, Michelle, you're going to be making that volcano, right? The proverbial volcano that all kids make in middle school. They got to make it explode with all these chemistry kits and things. You're going to be doing that with Noah.
But it's so not me, but it's just kind of funny. So we'll see. Good. But Lindsay, what's the last one?
All right. So let me paint you a picture. This is good. So I'm going to go ahead and give the example. Are you ready, Michelle?
I'm ready.
All right. Let me paint you a picture. We are on the beach. It's 10 a.m. The sun is shining. It's beautiful. So how would we use this?
Like, let's say I'm trying to, or you're trying to convince me to go on a trip and we're either deciding where to go, or maybe I'm not sure if I want to take the time off. And you're trying to say like, oh, let me paint you a picture. Like,
yes. I love it. I could see this. Well, trying to convince someone to go on a trip, or maybe people selling, what are those called? Timeshares. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Timeshares.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, right, you're trying to get someone to buy something or do something because you're putting them in like that headspace where they're gonna have this image of being peaceful and all that stuff.
Yeah. I love it. So good. Have you ever gone? I've heard that there are these presentations that they try to get you to,
and then you get
I've
like
never
free stuff.
Yeah, like free drinks. But
I've never gone to one because I'm really not good at like I'll end up just buying the timeshare. Like I would just, I'm really not good at saying no in like pressure sales situations. Even like, walking through the mall and they're like the kiosks and sometimes people try and stop you for certain things.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I like walk away, like I have to like walk on the other
Yeah. So I don't have a problem necessarily saying no, but for me, I'm easily convincible. If someone makes a good argument, like, oh, this is a great investment because in the next 20 years, more investment properties, if they do that, like, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is good. We have to invest in this.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. It can be tough. But guys, I noticed like there's a lot of present tense in these situations, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like,
why?
Let me paint you a picture. We are on the beach. It's 10 a.m. The sun is shining a continuous, right? I think like, and here too, like, let's see, you lose, okay. Many present tense. Because in these, when you're trying to give these examples, you are trying to make that person feel like they're in the moment. I mean, we've talked about this before, like telling a story from the past using the present tense. It just puts that person there. So it's kind of a helpful tactic, I think, probably in sales.
Yeah, this is all about sales, but you know what? Sales is so broad. Sales isn't just literally for making money. I mean, in that example about the parent helping the kid with math, you're still selling math to your kid, right? If you think about it that way, you're selling them the ability to understand and maybe the ability to think it's normal, it's every day, it's about apples, it's fun. Right. So we're always selling in a way, which is really interesting.
Right. That's true. That's a very deep thought, Lindsay.
All right.
Let's do a role play.
All right, here we go. So here I am trying to convince you, Michelle, to buy a new phone, and we're friends. I actually do need a new phone and I've been putting it off for so long.
Me too. Me too.
Gosh, it's just, I can't even listen to podcasts on my phone anymore. There's no more storage space, but just doing the whole walk into a contract. I don't like it.
The storage space is the greatest pain for me. But then I got a memory card for my phone to like, because I knew a new phone was coming out. Anyway, it's so stressful. And you're just going to wind up in the same spot in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Getting into
losing storage.
Phone. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But I think they do that on purpose. They make it so that your phone will only last X number of years. I would still have the same phone from 2012 if I could, honestly. I would.
Me too. Like, I don't have a problem with my phone. It's just that when the storage, like now it's actually fine anyway, another story for another day.
All right, here we go. Into the role play for our listeners. Here we go. Right. So come on, you should get it.
Why?
Well, let's say your phone breaks. You are frustrated and you can't take any pictures of your kids.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Exactly. Now let me paint you a picture. You already have a new phone. There's tons of storage on it. The camera's amazing and you are so happy.
That does sound nice.
Now, imagine your baby does something cute on vacation. You can have all the photos you need.
You're right. You're talking to me a little like a salesperson, but maybe just as
right now.
but as a friend, you could be like saying like, "Oh, look, come on," you could be doing that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, exactly. So sometimes our friends are our most effective salespeople, right?
That's true.
The word of mouth and someone just explaining why they got the phone, and then you picture yourself in that person's situation, right?
Yeah. That's right. So let's see. What did you say? You said, well, let's say your phone breaks, and then you go into, you are frustrated and you can't take any pictures. Yeah.
Exactly. And then I said, exactly. Now let me paint you a picture, right? So that phrase is a little more salesy, right? Yes. So maybe a friend wouldn't quite set it up exactly. Maybe they'd use something like imagine instead. right?
Right.
In that
Which is the
moment.
next thing you
The
use.
next
You
one.
said, imagine your baby does something cute on
Mhm.
vacation. Guys, by
Yeah.
the time this episode comes out, I'll have a second child.
I know. Oh
Right.
my
So
gosh.
yeah.
I love it.
So
So
yeah,
good.
exactly. So and then you're trying to convince me. Maybe you're like, what would your motivation be? Maybe you're sick of me complaining about not having storage on my phone. Like maybe I'm always like, sorry, Lindsay, I can't take that picture. Like, can you take the picture for me? I don't have any room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's also something too, we've talked about this recently on another episode, how if we've discovered something that we think is great, we kind of want other people to love it too. When we're talking about movies and TV, there is something there. If I have the new iPhone 13 and it takes these
Right.
amazing
Then you're
videos, the
like,
blurry background, I want you to know how great that is and to like that too and to value that too. Right.
exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. So, guys, again, maybe I wouldn't use all of these at once, but it's great just for convincing, selling, or showing potential problems. Could be for anticipating situations. So
Yes.
much. So definitely try these out.
All right. Good stuff. All right, Michelle, thanks for hanging out today. This has been great. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.